Losing $195 trading Affirm and Meta. Welcome on in to the trade recap. I think I'm a little bit off center here with the camera. I haven't done one of these in a minute, but here we are. We're back. So let's dive into it. Pretty simple. Nothing crazy on this one, to be honest. We have Affirm right here. Lost 78.25. And this is a bull flag, essentially a one-day time frame breakout that we just were playing. Let's pull it up. And we got in on the break that we had. This is a daily time frame. We got in on the break right here. Very huge move. I was kind of skeptical of getting in on after such a big move, but I liked it a lot, and it had good volume. Everything was lined up pretty well. The issue that really just came here was, or I knew going in, is that we have earnings coming up in a couple of weeks from the entry. And I also knew that this is asking for a huge move. So I was looking for about a 15% push up versus about a 10% push down. So literally risking 1 to make 1.5. And you're like, well, nothing happened. Why are you out? Well, we're getting close to earnings, but I exited on this. Sorry. I exited on this day right here because that was a Friday afternoon. We had broken out, and then we closed the week below the breakout point. And then I look over at Ethereum, and ETH was closing its week on Friday. That's Saturday, sorry. Friday right here. If I go to the weekly time frame, was closing above the all-time high. Not all-time. Is that all-time high? No. Not all-time. Close. It was closing above its breakout since the past, really, of this bull market cycle. So I said, okay, if ETH's going to go, which it got like halfway there so far. It's pulled back since. If ETH's going to go, I want to be in ETH. It's stronger right now based on how it's closing out the week. And there was also some earnings. It was like Affirm, like it was so stupid to me. It was like there was some other company in the buy now, pay later that had some terrible earnings or some terrible news that came out, and it just kind of sucked the whole industry down, which is really all that happened. From what my understanding, I don't know, but you can't control those things. So it's like, okay, whatever. So that's what happened on that Friday. So I swapped it for this. I'm still in this. I actually took some partial profits there because I had too much of it, to be honest. And then I'm just riding it for now. Doesn't look great right now, but it's just back testing. We'll see what happens. And kind of go from there. The other trade was over on not Affirm. That was over on Meta. We lost 117 on Meta, on a long on Meta. Another trade that looked really, really good, just didn't work. Simple as that. I'll talk about why I suspect that in a second. But at the end of the day, right, who knows why? Like, what's the point in trying to bother with why? So we can get rid of some of these lines. This line, that was a prior all-time high. We just had an earnings gap up on Meta, and then we had a consolidation. I love playing the earnings gap and then eventual moves. About a week or 2 or 3 after, we had it, and then it just kind of fizzled out and then hit my stop loss. I played the breaking candle right here. I put my stop loss below breaking candle low. We had good volume on the breaking candle. Everything was there. Made sense. Just nope. Didn't pan out. Knowing that if we start to fall underneath this consolidation level right here, which we're doing now, there's a higher chance that we have a gap fill here, which I don't want to be a part of, obviously. So put my stop loss above that. So that was it. I just also know, like, yeah, August tends to not be the best month, but at the same time, now I look back on these trades, there's no mistakes we made. Like, they're fine. Just because a month historically has not been great for momentum trades for me, does that mean we don't trade it? I don't think so. It's like the analogy is if you have a coin that if you flip, and let's say you bet heads, right? And you always bet heads. You always play the breakout, and you always assume the breakout's going to go higher. Well, you never know. I don't know. I assume that it'll be a 50-50 shot, right? Because I'm flipping a coin. But when it goes higher, or when it goes and breaks out up or down, because I play the downside too if we're in a bear market, or if we have a asset that's trending down after a consolidation. So if you do that, and when you lose $1, and when you win $1.50 or $1.25 or $1.75. You have a profitable system. That's all it is. Simple as that. Nothing crazy. That's essentially, in a nutshell, what I do. So does that mean don't trade in August? There'll eventually be an August where I'll step back and say I'm not trading, and then it will be the most insane month of all time. I would have had opportunities left and right that would have been great. I don't know. So I just do the thing all the time. That's it. With that said, I will link up TradeZilla below if you want to check them out. I think code TC10 saves you 10% or 20%. The link below the video also saves you money. I literally just re-upped my yearly membership or my yearly subscription. So I just paid them And if you want to use them, cool. If not, cool. Use your own Excel spreadsheets at a minimum, I would say. That's what I used to do. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.